what is up guys, this is the Kung Fu Guy here, and this is going to be another video of my martial arts training series of Without a Master. I didn't choose a name for it actually. I'll just continue talking to you right now. The next thing I'm going to show you is the 7 steps to achieve a new skill to your martial arts abilities. That could be, let's just say you want to learn a new technique for sparring. This is a good example. That's what I'm using, the 7 steps process. Okay? Those 7 steps will help you to achieve from imitating this specific movement. It can be a punch, it can be a block, it can be simultaneously block and punch. I'll show you some of those exercises as well, and really do them in a fight, because maybe you don't know because you never experienced that before, but there is a lot of different mindset when you're training something and when you're fighting for the sake of your survival. Now, sparring isn't the sake of your survival, but where I used to spar, it wasn't really sparring, because sparring is about improving yourself and your opponent. The sparring that I did was about knocking your opponent down or getting knocked by yourself. So you need to really feel the fear of a real fight while training. And so we used protective gear, but we didn't really pay attention to technique, more about the mental part of the training, which is good. But as I said in the previous video, you need a good foundation, you need a good hard work, you need patience. And you can't just jump off sparring. The 7-step process I'm going to show you, the 7 steps, are really to help you build up the confidence, the instincts, and the movements that you'll need in order to win a fight. And that's the whole point of martial arts, I guess. It was developed to help the weak defeat the strong. So in order for that to happen, the weak needed to work hard, have a good foundation and patience to do that. And the 7 steps goes like this. The first step is learning the technique. Once you find the technique that you want to learn, and I will use, for example, a technique that I've been working on for the past time. I've been doing a punch defense where you are basically punching, and I guess it's a Wing Chun move when your opponent is punching you with the right hand, and you are sliding to the side, stepping to the side, and using your arm to deflect the punch and punch him with yours. So it's a basic defense and attack in the same time. It's quite efficient as well. And there's also variations, like after you do this, you can go to grab the arm, or you can go to another attack and continue on. There's plenty of variations to that, but that doesn't matter. The point is, you must get the movement right. So the first thing is to learn all the points that you need to know in order to make the movement correct. The point is of that exercise that you have to get a really good movement, footwork and body movement, and having the right angle and the right timing in order to make that movement correctly. So there's a lot of points to it, and I'm not going to show you that right now. I will show you that in I guess the next videos when my thumbs is healed. And the point is, you learn the movement first. That's the imitating the movement. You must imitate it correctly. Like, you have to get every point of any aspect of that movement correctly before you pursue on. And your final step is to use that in a fight. That's the 8 steps. As I said, there is 7 steps process, and then there is the 8th, which is using that technique in a fight. It takes time. I'll show you that. So the first part, you want to learn the movement correctly. That will take time. I would say at least a week just to get all the things right. So you really need to work on understanding every single part of that movement. And the more complex the move is, the more time it will take to get it correctly. So this is the foundation exercise. You will need to put some hard work into it, and you'll need some patience, because it will take you a lot of time. Some techniques may take years or decades, okay? So don't stress out. You should choose, at least at the beginning, some techniques that will take you a month or 2 months to learn perfectly. and you can work on few at the same time, so don't get too surprised. You can work at least 5 to 10 techniques in simultaneously, as long as you're not pushing yourself and just messing everything up in your brain. So you need to learn all the points. The hand should be here, the elbow should be here, the shoulder should go forward, the hips should be twisting to this side, the back leg should be with the heel up. All those points you must learn. Okay, remember this. You must learn all the points of the movement before going to the second step. The second step is doing the movement on air, shadowboxing. This is a great way to practice your movement, at least at the beginning. You need to learn what shadowboxing is. Shadowboxing is where you're standing in an open area. I'm right now not too much in open area. You stand in your fighting position, which you should also learn correctly, and you want to use your imagination to feel the movement you want to learn, his behavior against an opponent. Let's just say, as I taught you just now, not really taught you, is doing this defense and attack. So you need to imagine an opponent throwing a right straight, and you are moving out of the range, so the punch goes here, and doing the movement correctly to hit his face. Now this is only to help you visualize the movement you're doing. You should do that after you do it correctly. Okay? So once you can do that, you can imagine your opponent attacking you, and you shouldn't use a partner just yet. You should do this movement and always practice on both sides, otherwise the movement is quite inefficient. 500 reps of this in slow motion. You're breaking down and doing the correct movement with your shoulders, hips, elbows, wrists, how your fist will be. Is it going to be like this or this? The finger positioning. There are so many points to it, especially if you're a beginner and it's still not completely instinctively for you. Then you need to work on it, and it's gonna take time. It's 500 reps of each side. That's the least you want to do. You're standing here and counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're always imagining the movement against an opponent. You can't just do that. You can't slack around. That's the second thing that you want to learn. So you have the fundamental and you have the hard work. That's the second thing you'll need to become a good martial artist. As I said, the triangle of foundation, hard work, and patience. So you'll need a lot of patience to get this movement up to the last level without skipping anything. I used to skip a lot of steps. It's completely wrong. It's completely useless in a fight if it's incorrect. But if you will go on those steps as you need, slowly learning the movement and pursuing on to the next step, you will become better. So the second step is this, slow. The third step is this in a normal speed. So you have 500 reps of those. It's quite a lot. Now the good thing about it, you don't really need a warm-up, especially if it's just hands, to do it. So you can just walk around and you have like 5 minutes waiting for, I don't know, for your bus. You're in the station alone. You can do that. I did a lot of time doing that. Let's just say you are sitting in front of your computer and you're waiting for the video on YouTube to reload. You need to start doing this. Boom, boom, boom. Learn the movement. Visualize the movement. Do it as it needs to be. Always keep a focused mind. Don't watch the video and do this. That will not help you. You have to focus. You have to put 100% focus into the movement in order for it to become eventually instinctively to you. So when you can use it in a fight.